How's it going, everybody? Maxwell McGee here at PAX Prime in Seattle, Washington, checking out a game that's very near and dear to my heart, Counterstrike Global Offensive. And to help me learn more about it, I'm joined by Chet Faliszek, who's going to tell us more about Counterstrike. Chet, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming out.
All right, how's the show been going for you so far, Chet?
Really great. It's been fun seeing people come back and for some play an old favorite and for others pick it up for the first time and see what all the fuss is about.
Now, Chet, obviously it's been a very long time since the original Counterstrike was released. In developing this new game, has your team felt pressured at all to maybe add in a wacky cover system or regenerating health to keep up with the times?
So one of our, we kind of put a lot of goals and restraints on ourselves early on of what we want out of the product, and the first one was making sure Counter-Strike's still Counter-Strike. So if you die, if you lose, it's because you lost, the other player was better. It was really important that even in casual mode, which is laid back and fun, it's about your skill and your abilities. And one of the big things to help with that, though, is we added ELO skill-based matchmaking, and so that you're always playing with somebody of your skill level. And so that helps a lot of the frustration of going in and getting stomped on by somebody who's too good, or just stomping on people like me. You know, I just stomp on everybody, and it's no fun. So now you're always playing against somebody of your skill level.
So in addition to the matchmaking, how is this game not just a prettier version of 1.6 or Source?
So we've looked back and we've learned a lot since. This is actually the oldest game we haven't updated, and so it's Counter-Strike Source was in 2004, and before that, 1999 was for Counter-Strike 1.6. We looked at why didn't people from 1.6 move to Counter-Strike Source. What else have we learned in our other games like Left 4 Dead that can help us inform here while keeping and retaining the same Counter-Strike? And a lot of that is. We looked at the competitive side, and the skill ceiling needs to be able to be high enough that really good players can distinguish themselves as really good players. And that's a really important feature, because like everyone on a pro baseball team is a good baseball player, but not everybody's an all-star. And so how can you distinguish yourself? We have to make sure that there's nuances in the game that really good players can use to be a better player. But then equally, when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you're not making this game where it's unfun for new players to play. And so one of the things we did was we created a new mode called Casual Mode, where you don't have to worry about things like money, you don't have to worry about the buying the Kevlar. It's just, you just jump in, pick all the weapons you want, run around, and you have the same experience, and you still have the same objectives. But you do it in a much more laid-back manner, like because there's no friendly fire, and those kinds of things that add frustration to new players, we've changed.
I don't think anybody's going to have to worry about buying Kevlar in this game, actually, because I think you guys are giving it away for free. Is that correct?
So we've actually made a little change here. And this is what our beta is going to be about. Well, we brought in a bunch of Counter-Strike Source pro players. We had them play it, and we got their feedback on it. And one of the things removing Kevlar does is it damages the economy system. In casual mode, where you get all the money you want, the economy system means nothing, so we should just give it to you to simplify it so new players don't forget to get it. But for pro players, they'll have what they call an econ round, where they'll purposely almost skip around and say, I'm going to have less protection and I'm going to have a lesser weapon because I'm going to save up to make a bigger purchase later. And taking away the Kevlar robbed them of that metagame strategy. And so in a competitive game, you'll actually be able to buy Kevlar or, more importantly, choose not to buy Kevlar and save that money. And that was feedback we got from the pros. All right, and so that's, as we look at making the game, we're going to have this long extended beta that starts in October, and we can't give you a release date now because we don't know when that beta will be done, when they're going to help tell us when the game's ready.
So, Chet, I see we're playing on some 360 units here. Does that mean we can expect cross-platform play for CSGO?
Well, for CSGO, you're going to be able to see cross-platform play between the PS3, PC, and Mac. We'd love to have it for the 360. As of right now, it's not going to happen. But, we think it's a really interesting thing, and it's a really interesting thing to try. So I think a lot of PC players go, oh, my God, I don't want my game filled with all those console noobs. Yeah. Well, guess what? They have no edge. There's no auto-aiming happen. There's nothing giving them the advantage. They're going to have to be as good with their input device as you are with yours, and then the skill-based matching will decide how you rank. So you know what? If you think you're a super tough guy, PC player, and you find out you're playing all with PS3 players who just bought the game for the first time and are 80-year-old women, you may have come in the guy that you're not that good. But so we'll see. We're gonna let the skill-based system decide who plays and who's the best player. And if you're a really good PS3 player and you want to show PC players who's good, you're going to have the opportunity to do it. And, looking today, there's a lot of people who are really good with the controller, and I think PC players don't give them credit for that. And equally, the fidelity of movement of the PC devices, mouse and keyboard, are pretty good as well. The PS3 will actually support the mouse and keyboard, will support the Move, so it'll be pretty interesting.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the pace and flow of the game. Would you say this game's perhaps faster or slower than previous Counter-Strikes?
The pace of a Counter-Strike Go is the same pace as Counter-Strike, which is either really fast and it's quickly over, or it's a little bit more slow and methodical. We've actually shortened the rounds a little bit, taking some feedback of that originally from how we saw people customizing their servers. So it's a little bit more intense. You don't sit out that much longer. So like if you die, you're out. There's no health regeneration. That's it. You're dead. But the rounds last 3 minutes, so you're never out that long. And some strategies are to rush and try to own a section to move on. Some aren't. We've really looked at how people play the game now and really adjusted it to that. So we've also done things like we've seen maps that people no longer play, like Aztec and Dust, and said, why aren't they playing them anymore? Oh, well, there's this imbalance. Let's fix that. And we've gone back and we've fixed those maps so that they're more viable to play.
So which maps have you guys announced so far for this game, and what other additions can players expect?
So we're bringing back 7 classic maps, and 5 of them are going to be the bomb planning, and then 2 will be the hostage rescue. And then we're also going to come out with some new game modes and soon new maps with that. We're not announcing those yet, but we will soon.
And can you tell us anything about mod support? And will there be mod support on the console version?
Well, so on the PC side of it, it'll be at the same level that Counter-Strike Source has. So if you want to play Counter-Strike because you really want to surf while you shoot guys, hey, you'll be
maybe do it in a clown outfit if I'm so inclined.
Exactly. It's always fun to see all the different things people get to do on that. So we want them to be able to host their own servers. We want them to be able to mod the game because part of that is that tells us a lot about the game. That tells us where their head's at, what they're looking for. Kind of like when you rank users or players, you kind of look at like the pros are at the top, and the next is really the server operators because they're making a lot of choices based on what they're seeing directly with the players in their player base. And so we always want to let those people have some control, and if their group of friends want to play it in a certain way, they should be able to play it in a certain way. Obviously, if you also want to just play the Counter-Strike that we're shipping, we're going to have our own dedicated servers. We're going to make sure you have the experience that we think is this one that works the best, and that we're going to modify so that through the beta period that it is the best for everybody. So we have that, but also, it's kind of the democracy of design. If your 10 friends want to go crazy and do something wild, do it. It's available for you.
All right, Chet, well, I've just got one more question for you. When can players expect to get their hands on CSGO?
Well, so the idea really is we're going to start the beta in October. We think probably what we're going to ship is going to not change too much from that, but we don't think what we put in the beta to begin with is what we're going to come out with. And so we're really going to have to wait to see when the beta's done. Once the beta's done, we'll take it in, we'll put the final kind of polish pass on it, and we'll get it out on the PS3, the 360, the PC, and the Mac sometime early 2012.
All right, well, thank you so much for chatting with us. The game looks like a ton of fun. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
I can't wait to keep people get to play it. So, again, this October, the beta will start.
Thank you so much. And for you at home, be sure to check out Gamespot.com for more coverage.